Hey there, Smoke Master D coming at you with a brisket cook on the Blue Smoke smoker here. I've also got two pork butts in there. So yeah, um, got this thing fired up. I got out of work early, came home, threw on the brisket that I'd prepped the night before. I like to have it prepped, let it, dry brine, not because makes it more moist or anything, but I like to have it ready to just throw on. So that's what I did with the brisket. Pork butts I had to get together, put those on after the fact, while the smoker was getting heated up. I don't care to wait. Yeah, the thing's probably getting about up to temperature now, an hour in. Started it a little bit slower this time than what I did with those biscuits, which seemed to just be sort of very hot very quickly. But now I'm up to the temperatures I think I want. I'm going to try to go the first 4 hours at around the 225-degree mark, and then maybe the next four at 250, and then the last four at about 275. So that's the plan. The humidity is not very high today, so I did put the water pan in, and I'll show you what that looks like. Just an idea I had, something I decided to play around with. It may not be the best for the airflow. It's cutting off those holes a little bit. What's it actually going to do inside the chamber? So could be good, could be not good. It's hard to tell. I like to test things out, play around with it. I'm not too worried about the cook itself. I think it's going to come out fine either way. But yeah, this is still sort of the process of me getting to know this smoker and how it works. And if you've ever had one of these, you'll know that it is a process. It's not something that you know just right off the bat. But if you know the basics of how to cook barbecue, and low and slow cooking is fairly forgiving, you'll still turn out with something that tastes really amazing at the end. So, since the scoop baffle was actually thought of and invented from blocking logs, I thought maybe I wouldn't need blocking logs. But when I look at the all the color on the front of this brisket, I'm thinking that that's not the case, that I still do need these blocking logs here. So that is what I'm doing. It does seem to be getting crispy around the edges. Probably going to need to get my sprayer out to spray them down soon. So while I'm waiting for this log over here to light, decided to take out the water pan shelf, and the water pan's now on the bottom. Wasn't liking the heat distribution. I was getting the way that it was. We'll see if this does better. All right, almost at the 3 hour mark. I'm going to spray, do a little bit of misting. We can see that the edges are getting a little crispy here, so just going to try to look for any place that's a little dry, any place that's kind of crispy looking. Don't want to get it on the fat too much. I want that to render out. Looks a little bit like we got some pooling going on here, so see what I can do about that. I may need to just tip it. Got to grab a glove for that though, so let me see here. All right, that did it for now. I'll just have to keep an eye on that. All right, coming up on the 4 hour mark of this cook. Trying to kick it up to 250. This thermometer is a little bit over my internal monitor thermometers, but not much. So, all right, we got some pooling again here. All right, get that off there. So I had to cut right there because my sprayer has this little filter thing, and I put apple cider vinegar in the with the water. It's about half and half, but some of the mother got in there, like that gunk in the bottom that I don't know exactly what it does. But right now it's gunking up the thing for my sprayer, so not good. Had to take care of that. Well, this is interesting. At least it's not going into the firebox and starting a fire there if it's grease. Huh. So you can see my fire building skills here. Mostly just take a whatever works approach. That log on the bottom right was way too long. I should have cut it shorter, but you know, I didn't. I'm not going to get out the looper chainsaw right now to do it either with these other pieces that are probably too long. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to make it work. Just got other splits kind of on it. Make sure it stays lit. So, yup. There it is. All right. Got some Wagyu beef tallow. Gonna throw right in there. All right. See, it's shrunk down. I've pulled it like together a little bit. So, yup. All right. Let's see how this brisket's looking. It's temping up at 180 or so. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see here. All right, it's up to 192 there. 180 down in the flat, which is what I'm concerned with most. I'm gonna wrap it up and see if we can get it to come to some sort of equalization. So. All right, 2 in the wrap. I'm gonna let this bigger pork butt go a little bit longer. Whew. Oh, I'm a bit tired. 9 hours into the cook. Everything's wrapped. It's gotten a bit cool out here. I'm kind of huddled close to the firebox. My microphone broke, so I'm just using the phone's microphone. Have to buy a new one. Might have been time. Use some of the bad wood. You can see this very well, but like the wood that has all that weird fungus on it. Now that everything's wrapped, anything goes, including some of those cuttings. I have a friend who does woodwork for a hobby, also makes money off of it. But he's given me some cuttings to use. It's kiln dried kind of stuff, but at this point, doesn't matter. So, yep. Just thought I'd give some thoughts on the cook so far. One thing I want to say is that I haven't kept the temperatures very steady, and it's really not what I do. It's not my style. Part of that is just because I've got a kid, likes to play with me while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, actually. The other thing is, it doesn't matter to me that much. I know Aaron Franklin's like really big on having your temp control so that you know what other factor is affecting your barbecue. But the barbecue I make, even though the temperatures go up and down, is still good. In fact, people like it a lot. Low and slow, it's it comes out well pretty much anyway, just as long as you keep that smoke rolling. I know there's somebody who asked me to see how well this thing kept certain temperatures, but you may have to find somebody else to do that for you. So if somebody else buys one of these things and that's really what you're into, go for it. It'd take a lot more effort on my part. I'd have to, try to make uniform splits. I'd have to, really be on it, have a system down, and just don't. And it doesn't bother me. So, yeah. Have fun with it. Make some good food. That's what I'm here for. As far as the performance of this pit, it's done great. From my vantage point and the way that I run a smoker, this thing does the job well. The temp ranges, between my probes have been good. They look, if I throw up some of the screenshots I've taken, there's a range of about, 17 degrees. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that some of these probes, especially the Brisket probe, is kind of down lower. I want to get it into the flat, because that is where I have to get that temperature higher. The point is always going to be higher if you have the fat side up, which is what I'm running here. As you know, this cooker is going to cook hot down, so we want to render that fat. Right now it's in the wraps. Hopefully things are going to even out a little bit, but the flat is what I'm paying attention to on the brisket cook, and the flat's on the grate, so it's kind of just like right above the grate there. Whereas for these pork butts, I've got it stuck up higher on the pork butt. Things are a bit thicker, so being that the heat's coming down, it's higher, the temperature's higher the higher up you have it, so that accounts for some of the difference. So overall, I'm very pleased with the way this thing's been running. It's doing a great job. This cook's taking a little bit less time than I thought. I don't know that I thought that I would be wrapped quite so early on the brisket, especially. But yeah. All right, let's see if this brisket's done. Feels like butter there. But yeah, I just want to make sure that flat is going to be good. I think it's feeling pretty good. And the long rest will help some too. So, gonna wrap this up. All right, now let's take a look at the brisket. Know that this cut is, I believe, where the grain is, so I'm going to cut it right here. That there. Very good. Very good. I didn't overcook the point, which is great. The flat temped out at about 195. And I think the point was up about 200 when I pulled it off. That long rest, it's been about 12 hours, has really helped. And it tastes really good. That is really delicious. I'm very happy. Very happy with this result. So I'm going to eat a little bit more of this. Some of it's going to go to a party. But very happy with the Blue Smoke Smoker. They cook this thing pretty fast, and it tastes really good. So very happy. As always, go get your smoke on, y'all.